Hello, Dr. Rose here. Just wanted to give you some basic guidelines, academic expectations, requirements, if you will. Whenever you're submitting an assignment where it asks for APA format, please use APA format. Times New Roman font 12, 1-inch margins, double spaced, no extra spacing beyond each paragraph. So you have to obviously format your paper to do that. But some of the common errors I see is just that, and then in some cases people will actually purposely increase their font size, increase their spacing, decrease their margins, and I can glance at a paper. All the years I've been doing this, I can glance at a paper from across the room and tell you whether or not that's been done. And so I just ask those of you that are even contemplating fulfilling page length by manipulating the APA parameters, please don't, because you're just going to get feedback going, hey, try again, have a nice day. You'll be able to resubmit it, but please just don't do that in the first place. The part of APA format, people have a tendency to leave hyperlinks in the reference section. And so all you got to do is just or right click, I should say, on the hyperlink, and there'll be a thing that says remove hyperlink, and it will change it from the blue underline to just regular font. So it's just stuff like that. Learn APA. It took me a while to learn APA in my undergrad, but just, make sure you're following that format, do research. The OWL at Purdue is a good resource for that. Of course, the APA, whatever latest version is, will give you information on that. But please follow APA format, which includes if there is a title page, make sure it goes on a title page. Don't try to use your name, course information, all that kind of stuff in the first page of your narrative because it doesn't count. So just stuff like that. The other thing too, no opinions unless they're asked for. In academic environments, even in professions where you're trying to make a compelling case about something, the only time an opinion is valid is when you're testifying in court, giving an expert opinion on something, and you have to qualify as an expert to do that. In the academic world, there may be assignments where your opinion's asked for. It's just kind of get you to reflect on, okay, where am I coming from right now? But the idea is in the academic world, it needs to be evidence-based. The idea is if you're going to make an assertion or try to make a point, go to the research that has been scrutinized and peer-reviewed to make your point for you. And of course, there'll be papers that are a little bit less formal, but the ones that are APA required and more formal, stick to the sources that you need to make the points for you. And again, cite the research. One of the things I commonly see is research shows. Great, which research? So this generic application of there's research out there that cite the research, please. Don't include redundant information in the assignments. What I've seen that people do is just repeat all the instructions for the assignment in the paper itself. It's like, no, that's the question I asked you. You're supposed to answer the question. So don't repeat the question. The other part of that is that people will, if there's a case study, they'll start reiterating the facts of the case study to fill in content rather than just answer the question about the case study. If there's a relevant point, this particular aspect of the case relates to this point, then that's fine. But I've seen where people are taking in 1, 2, 3 paragraphs, a whole page on, here's what happened. I know what happened. I'm the one that presented it to you. So answer the questions, right? Don't waste space. Let's see what else we got. Beware of making assertions that can't be supported. We live in a world where opinion has a tendency to take precedence over facts and evidence, and we have a large portion of the society that don't even know how to find or do valid research and find information and find facts. And so we have a tendency to live in a world where people think that just because a big group of people say something is true that it's been validated. No, actually it hasn't. And so be very aware of what assertions am I making? Is there evidence to back these assertions? Or is this something that's just kind of been socially accepted? So think about that. And has it been scrutinized? Have you done the research? Have you looked at the literature on the subject matter of which you're speaking? Or on its face, it can be debunked just by what you're saying. It's like it's easily refutable. And so if you're looking at science, there's 2 pillars of science, logic and observation. It has to make sense. And it has to be able to be observed in society. And if it doesn't make sense or you can't observe it, then scientifically you failed. So think about those 2 things, logic and observation, and make sure that's incorporated into your stuff. So just some basic information in terms of how to get through properly in an academic environment and to not be frustrated in terms of if you get feedback, hey, try this again, here's some feedback. But the other part of that is that the way I handle my course is that you can keep putting your stuff back in. Here, try again. Here's an update for feedback. You can adjust it, try again, and then the scores will adjust if you're addressing the issues. So I don't want to penalize people for the attempt to learn, but my ask is that you give me your best, and then it'll be an interactive process whereby, okay, here's what I have right now, here's my feedback, hopefully leading to you to have a better understanding of the material and what you're dealing with, and then you reflect that in your updates to your assignments, and then, of course, resubmitting those. In any case, in any way I can, I'm happy to help. Individual Zoom meetings, group Zoom meetings, anything you need, emails to help you through this process. Let me know if you have any questions or if I can help in any way. Thank you.